What's up, everyone? I hope you all are having a wonderful and blessed day, and if not, I do hope that it gets better. I would like to say thank you for stopping by the channel and checking out today's video. It means a lot to me, and I do appreciate it. Now, if you're enjoying the type of content that you're seeing here, and you wouldn't mind continuing to help support not only me, but the channel as well, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on all of my future content. Now, today we are going to be talking about how deep the replayability is for Midnight Suns. So, starting with the story right off the rip, a normal playthrough, right, would take around 40, 45 minimum to about 60 hours, which is consisting of progressing through the story acts and unlocking more members of the team as you go, because you do not start off with every member of the team there with you. You have to bring them together as you progress, alongside the many different side missions and things to do back at the Abbey, like building new sections of it or searching the surrounding grounds for things like lore items and loot. Not to mention the 13th character not even being playable or unlockable until you beat the story. And then once you get them, there's even more playtime in just that character alone, because you have the friendship with him that you got to build. You have the dex for him that you can make. You got his passive skills you got to work on. It's a lot, right? It's a lot there. Now, in terms of the characters, actually, whenever you're with them in the Abbey outside of combat, because that's where you would be your home base, you could become close friends with these other heroes, some more than others, and these relationships can be developed with dialogue by spending time together and occasionally giving them a gift or two, which in return can offer various things like progression towards your relationship with that hero, and then unlocking and further upgrading that hero's passive skill, which does nothing but add another layer to the combat for them, which makes them even more fun to mess around with. Now, when you max out the relationship, they will gain access to their ultimate ability and their special Midnight Suns team uniform. But the catch 22 here is that you can only max out around 3 to 4 characters in a single playthrough. But there is New Game Plus, so you would end up having to run through the story again, but this time with a different main team at the helm that you can focus on becoming friends with, which will include things like different dialogue and different events in the Abbey that you didn't get beforehand because you weren't hanging out with those characters during your previous playthrough. Now, another thing that would be something XCOM players are familiar with, right, is the feature of facilities. Now, as you progress through the game, once you unlock more and more things, you will be able to further expand and upgrade the Abbey and the surrounding grounds, like Magic, for example. Choosing to follow through with her on her research plans will let you build something called the threat room, which is kind of like a danger room, but I'm pretty sure that name was already taken. So we just gonna call it threat room. That's the official name for it. In the threat room, right? Every hero can go and visit that room once a day, and they fight by themselves against waves and waves of demons and more. So you can test out and experiment with a single character, maybe farm a little bit of XP, and so on and so forth. And this is only but one of the many facilities that you will be able to create in game. Now, going into the deck building aspect, the main setup is 3 people to a team. Whenever you're doing story missions, the hunter will be required to be on the team at all times, and there could even be a mission where Iron Man specifically needs to come with you, or Doctor Strange specifically needs to come with you. But inside of the other mission types, when it comes to them, is different, very different. You will be free to bring whoever you want to bring. Again, the hunter is only required for main story missions. Outside of that, you can make whatever team combination that you want to make. Now, each member of the team will have up to 8 of their own cards in the deck, bringing that up to a total of 24 cards as a whole. Now, these cards can be upgraded and fixed out with different mods, which I will get into later. That can either be simple, or it can create a brand new card combination that can vastly change how that card or even how that character can play as a whole, right? It's like this because the developers, they are encouraging you, they're encouraging me, they're encouraging all of us to try our hardest and break their game, to come up with as many wacky and overpowered decks and cards as possible just to simply see what it is you can do. Because at a certain point, it starts to beg the question of what exactly can you create? Can you turn Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and Wolverine into one of the best team combinations in the game? Or can you take a team of Blade, Ghost Rider, and Nico Minoru and turn that very odd and unsynergized team into an amazing combination, right? It's layers on top of layers. You have the characters on top of their passive skills, on top of their cards and how they're used and upgraded, on top of the various mods that you can trick them out with, on top of the overall combinations that you can create good or bad, and then modifiers, which I believe are a thing. That's it's a lot, right? It's a lot. And then it's all just about testing them out in various kinds of situations and different missions that you'll come across. And speaking of content, right? We're in the end game now. Various kinds of missions and other things around the Abbey await for you to come and check them out and play. As you begin to play more content at a higher difficulty, like trials, for example, trials can only be done if you're a high enough level. And these are missions that the hunter will do alone with your loyal hellhound Charlie, the dog that you saw in various trailers and whatnot. She's going to be with you that whole time. Completing these trials will grant you spells that will allow you to reach other sealed off areas of the Abbey and the surrounding grounds. Now, trials aren't really in-game specific, but they are missions that you can do. And I brought those up because I forgot about them earlier. That's my fault. I do apologize. Now, if you feel like you've done all the missions that you can do, you've done everything there is you can do. And trust me, it's a lot. So like some of y'all might not even get through half of it just to begin with. All you're going to have to do is hold on a bit longer. Because guess what? There's a season pass. There's DLC content that will introduce, there's going to be 4 packs as a whole that will introduce new enemies, new stories, new missions, a new playable hero, and more. And they're going to be coming with the full treatment, their own story, their own abilities to mess with, being able to build a relationship with that character as well. You'll have a new path to take in terms of your deck building and experimenting, right? Now, after going through all of this, my honest verdict, if you choose to stick with the game to see what it is that it can offer you, the replayability is there for sure. Midnight Suns has some very solid depth to it, and it could be even deeper than we think, because it's like every time we learn more and more about the game itself, there's always another layer tacked on to something that we didn't know before, because this is their biggest game. Like I believe they said this was like 3 times bigger than XCOM. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me on that. But like I said, it could definitely be deeper than we think, since we haven't had the chance to play it yet, so we can't fully judge. But all I know is that we're in for a good time, and there's definitely going to be a lot to do. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys think this game is going to have some deep replayability, and what are you most excited to get your hands on first when you pick up the game? With that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you guys have had a great time. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notifications bell so you'll never miss out on any of my Midnight Suns related content. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.
Trying to live life, pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Need a back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste and a socialite. Trying to do it big, trying to live life, pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Need a back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste and a socialite.